Hey everybody, it's a Papa Possum here. Talk about a knife today. I was at the gun shop here a while back and happened to see something in the display case. Caught my eye. Box that said Boker, and it also said $29.99. You know, two things that catch my eyes: a name like Boker and a cheap price. Thought, wonder what that is. So I took a look. I kind of liked it, so I brought it home. See, it's a model 2717, and that's why it's cheap if it's focused in there for you. Made in China. That's why it's less expensive. Show you what we got here. Right there. That's what I got. The paracord does not come with it. That was added by me. But it's, you know, a string of paracord the right length that was tied in a knot and kind of melted to give it a decent little non-snag grip, and so it didn't mess with my neck if I wanted to wear this as a neck knife. That's her right there. It's in a Kydex sheath. Kydex actually has pretty good retention there. A little bit of play if I really shake it, but if I put it in there and shake it, I can't make it make any noise or move. It's never given me any trouble when I was actually wearing the knife. It's got the little rivet holes in it there. Could have done a much better job of getting those rivets closer to the blade, I think, and then kind of milling this down a little bit smaller. It's got a pretty big print on it. I can usually wear it underneath the shirt without a problem. Nobody seems to notice it's there, but I just think he could have done a little better job on that. Let's see what else about this knife. It's it comes out pretty easy. Decent little snap and comes out. So, got no complaints on the sheath, retention, or getting it out. It's just, I think, aesthetically, it would have been a little bit better if they would have moved those rivets inside towards the blade and then just kind of milled it down a little bit smaller profile, but that's personal preference. Here she is right there. Boker Plus, model 2717. You can see it's marked on the base of the blade there with Besh and 440C steel. 440C is obviously the name of the steel. And the Besh has to do with the Besh Wedge, which it's kind of the name of that particular grind. It's a little bit different grind. On the side, it just has the Boker Plus. I don't know what kind of a coating this blade has on it. It's a nice kind of dark gray brown. I almost call that a dark earth color. Real nice subdued, kind of a matte finish. G10 scales on it here. A couple little, I think those are Torx head screws. Yeah, those are Torx head screws that hold the scales in place. I don't know for sure, but I think the Boker Plus may be kind of their less expensive line. You'll notice if you look in here, the handle scales just don't line up perfectly with the handle blade. There's a little bit of a lip there, and it's a little undercut on, like right over here. It's a little bit undercut. It doesn't actually. You can feel a ledge between the handle, the edge of the handle, and the edge of the blade material there. But overall, for what it is, for something to kind of keep a nice little quiet concealed knife on you somewhere, I'm not that worried about it. Utilitarian is really my goal here, so it works just fine. You'll notice on this particular Besh Wedge setup that the blade is beveled on one side, but the other side of the blade is not. Same thing here. It's beveled on one side and not on the other. That's called a chisel grind. My understanding is that it gives you the ability to resharpen it when you don't have necessarily one of these available to you. If you don't have a sharpening stone available, you could take something less suited to the task and make an edge on one side, knock the burr off of the other side, and have a serviceable edge. It's not going to be razor sharp, but it'll work. What else can we say about it? It was somewhat sharp. I was kind of surprised. It wasn't terribly sharp. I expected it to be, razor sharp, but it wasn't terribly sharp when I first got it. It had a decent edge on it. A little bit of research online, I was able to kind of learn how to put that edge onto a knife, how to make that one really zing, and it didn't take much, and it's sharp as can be. I noticed when I was trying to just test the edge and cut it on paper that right there where this blade transitions into this blade, this is more of a chisel grind. I think that's called the Besh Wedge. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm crazy there, but I think that's what they call that. as you made that transition while cutting, it was a little bit of an issue because, as you can see, this is a much wider area of the bevel than this. This is much thinner. So that as you're cutting along, if you want to keep cutting the same line, you actually need to kind of change the angle of the entire blade to keep cutting the same line with that portion of the blade. Just a little something you have to get used to. The only other real complaints I had was, not really a complaint against the knife or the company. It was just that I'm not very used to a dagger style knife. So if you're not either, and you need to get one of these. One little warning is, it's real easy to use a knife like this. It's real easy to choke up on your knives, and I've almost choked up on it a number of times before I realized that there was a blade there where I was going to stick that thumb and really push. So that's, not a problem with a knife. It's a problem with just training yourself, getting used to it. But other than that, it's a pretty decent knife. The 440 steel is not an expensive, fancy steel, but it sharpens well and seems to hold an edge fairly well. It's just like anything else, it has a lot to do with the heat treat of the company who makes it. It's like Buck's 420 steel. Nobody else makes a 420 steel quite like Buck's. This steel seems to be pretty good so far. I've been pretty happy with this. But like I said, it probably has a lot to do with the heat treat process that they use that makes it able to hold an edge and maintain it. I don't have the technical specs here in front of me. Smart guy would have got that out beforehand. You can see there the blade is just about the width of my hand, so that means that the blade is probably right at 4 inches, if not 4 1/4. Overall, probably a 7-inch knife. Handy to have on you. It's got the rivets there. You could secure that probably to molly webbing, although I don't mess with the molly stuff. I don't have anything that has the molly webbing on it at this point, but I do have an old Alice pack, an old Army Alice pack. And I think you could tie that down to the webbing, to pretty much anything you wanted to, really. I mean, you've got 6 attachment points. You could use a little paracord or whatever, zip ties, and put it wherever you wanted. Pretty convenient little knife to have. So far, I've been happy with it. I've had it for a couple months now. Haven't used it real extensively. I don't do real cardboard cutting tests, that kind of stuff. I just carry it around, use it, and see what I think. So far, I've been really happy. If that changes, I'll let you guys know. If you have any other questions on it, hit me up in the comments there or send me a message, either one, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. If you like what you see here, go ahead and rate the video and subscribe if you like it. If not, sorry, try the next one. You'll find something you like on here. It's YouTube after all. Alright guys, well, I'm off here. Have a good day. I'm out.